Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. It's a Monday, so the start of a new week. But as you guys know, just like any other week, we like to grab a couple of headlines from the Daily Crypto. Grab a couple of headlines from the Daily Crypto News, bring them to your attention, and see what you guys think about them. As you guys know, before we get started, we like to get daily market sentiment from the man himself, Mr. Scott Tripp, aka the Crypto Beast. So before we get into the headlines today, we're going to let Scott jump in, introduce himself, and also give us the daily market sentiment. So without further ado, Scott, take over.
I'm still neutral. Like, I'm watching Ethereum. It's interesting watching it continue to go up a bit. But I'm just not in a rush to call it out of its neutral market. I don't think it's there yet. But
yeah, I don't think there's been any kind of a reversing trend on the HTF or the low LTF, but anything on a higher time frame right now kind of looks the same as it did a month ago. If you take Bitcoin and go back a month, kind of looks the same. Ethereum, the same thing, even though it's bouncing around a little bit. If you can always take a pen or a graph and go back a month and it's still in the same position, then it's pretty neutral feeling. So I'm going to stay with you, Scott. I'm going to stay neutral on today's market sentiment. We'll watch the week and see how things come out. I think it's been a lot of good news over the last couple of weeks, and there's a couple of conferences coming up that could, potentially bring a little bit of joy to the charts. But as of right now, I'm going to stay with my neutral sentiment as well. And without further ado, Scott, I'm going to go ahead and share this first article with you guys. Tom Brady offers Bitcoin for pain and suffering. Not because they actually lost the Super Bowl either. So let's read a little bit more about this and find out why. So retirement is one of the personal decisions. Retirement is one of the most personal decisions a person can make. Decades of routine and purpose are often left behind once a person decides or forced to leave its workforce. Professional athletes often live in what seems like a parallel universe to us. Mere mortals, and the rules of their universe often different. So retirement isn't a strictly personal decision to a star athlete. In addition to financial and familial considerations, professional athletes, especially ones at the top of the pyramid, understand that their careers will be discussed in the time. All of these factors must have been weighing on the future NFL Hall of Famer Tom Brady when he decided to retire in February before calling an audible in mid-March, announcing his intent to return for the 23rd season. The fallout from the decision that will affect many people in the league, but it may negatively affect at least one person off the field more than anyone else. When Brady threw a 55-yard touchdown pass to Mike Evans in the fourth quarter of the divisional round playoff game against the eventual Super Bowl champion LA Rams, there was speculation that the world was witnessing the last game of his storied career. Evans celebrated a touchdown by chucking the ball into the stands. If you know anything about sports memorabilia, you know the fan that caught the ball was just gifted an item that was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Last weekend, auctioneer Leyland sold the ball for $518,628, including taxes and fees, after receiving 23 bids. A day later, Brady announced that he would be unretiring. So you see Tom speak here. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. That time will come, but it's not now. I love my teammates. I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa Bay, unfinished business, LFG. And then he tweets, "Hey, FTX official, could we donate Bitcoin to the charity of this person's choice?" So one day before the Tom Brady unretired, someone paid more than $518,000 for the ball. That would have been, but definitely not the last touchdown of his career season. So we've seen here, we talked about Tom Brady a few times in our news segment of him being willing to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Not only that, when he threw his 500 touchdown pass, the guy who cut the ball, he gave him a Bitcoin as well. And here we are seeing him talk to FTX and say, "Hey, look, man, can we get this guy or can we donate Bitcoin to the charity of this choice?" So he's been a really good advocate for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin over the last couple of years. To see him, look back on his career and say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not quite done yet. I'm going to come back for my 23rd season, taking him, I think he'll be 49 or 50 years old playing next season. Definitely be one of the oldest quarterbacks. I still think he's got some things left in the tank, just like Bitcoin, man. So shout out to Tom being the grandfather of football right now, and shout out to Bitcoin for being the grandfather of tokens.
Definitely, for sure. And, is a donation to a charity enough to give that guy back his 500,000? I don't know.
No. So he sold the ball for 518,000 outright.
Oh, so he made money off of it before.
Yeah, he sold it outright too. So the auction house sold the ball for him for 518,000. I'm pretty sure he gets around 80 to 90% of that, and then the auction house keeps the other.
Oh, so whoever bought it at the auction is the one that's out of pocket right now. Then
they're out of pocket right now. Yep. Yeah. And then they were still saying that Tom Brady was still saying, "Hey, look, he sold the ball, got his money. Let's still donate cryptocurrency or Bitcoin to a charity of his choice." So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good then. And I'll just share mine here. Hacker steals customer data from Circle, Blockify, and other big crypto firms. HubSpot said data was taken from fewer than 30 HubSpot portals, but didn't provide a list of which accounts were compromised. Crypto companies invest heavily in cybersecurity, but hackers can still burrow in by attacking their third-party vendors. That's what happened to Circle, BlockFi, Pantera Capital, NYDIG, and other prominent crypto firms that disclosed over the weekend their customer data had been hacked. In emails to clients, companies revealed the HubSpot, a marketing and sales platform, have informed them that the hacker gained access to the personal data of their customers. Pantera uses HubSpot as a client relation management platform. The information that might have been accessed included first and last names, email addresses, mailing addresses, phone numbers, and regulatory classifications. Pantera added that its internal systems were not affected by the incident, and the hacker didn't gain any access to social security numbers or government IDs. HubSpot added the data was exported from fewer than 30 HubSpot portals, but didn't provide a list of which clients' accounts had been compromised. And so what happened was this hacker actually sent out a malicious email to an employee account. The employee opened the email, and that gave them access to actually get in here and steal the data from people. So if you're part of any of those platforms, I would definitely highly suggest that you change your data or information so that you don't have to worry about any crypto going missing.
Yeah, man.
It's got your keys, I guess. That's one thing.
We keep talking about these these hacks happening, and these actors just, it's like the scammers don't stop scamming, man. They work just as hard as these developers. I think if they took some time to help with the development side, we could probably see more adoption faster. But yeah, we've seen some pretty sick hacks over the last couple of over the last year. Honestly, I think you definitely got to do what you can do. If you're planning on being a trader and you have things on the exchange, that makes sense. But if you're just having things sitting on the exchange and you're actually an investor, I think it's a lot safer to pull those things off an exchange and get them into a cold wallet somewhere that could be a little bit better protected. But to go into my second article today, Scott, let's get right into it. And it's going to be coming from Cointelegraph. And the headline read, Goldman Sachs completes its first OTC options trade with Galaxy. So American investment bank Goldman Sachs continues to expand its cryptocurrency trading expertise by executing its first over-the-counter crypto options trade. So Goldman Sachs executed its first OTC crypto transaction in collaboration with the trading unit of Michael Novogratz, cryptocurrency investment management firm Galaxy Digital. According to a joint announcement on Monday, the OTC transaction was in the form of BTC, non-deliverable option, representing one of the OTC crypto transactions, one of the first OTC transactions by a major bank in the US. We are pleased to have executed our first cash-settled cryptocurrency options trade with Galaxy, said Max Minton, Asia Pacific head of digital assets at Goldman Sachs. He noted that the development marks an important milestone in Goldman Sachs' digital assets capability, as well as for broader evolution of asset class. The evolution collaboration between Goldman Sachs and Galaxy Digital also represents a continuation of the bank's partnership with Galaxy to improve its crypto capabilities. So Goldman Sachs is one of the biggest traditional financial institutions in the U.S. To be involved in the crypto industry. The financial giant is known for its backing Circle, the blockchain technology firm operating the USDC, the second largest stable coin by market capitalization. Last year, Goldman Sachs made a historic move in the crypto industry, launching its first trading services for BTC derivatives and Ether derivatives. So we've seen Goldman come in, Scott, kind of get into a point where they, got into it with the ETFs, and here now they're starting to offer OTC for cryptocurrency. I think this is a great sign when you talk about the major players getting involved with cryptocurrencies and the way they like to do it. They like to do it with the least amount of risk and the least amount of exposure. So a lot of times with these ETFs and these OTC options, they're able to just pay monthly for some things and receive their Bitcoins or other digital assets. But nonetheless, I still think this is a great article in the sense of we're starting to see more and more banks get comfortable with digital assets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it's important for adoption, right? I just hope more people realize how to purchase it themselves versus going through a bank and then, but that's just my personal opinion. But
yeah, I think when you think about it, sometimes from a banking end, Scott, I think we got to think about what banks do with money traditionally, and if they get comfortable in trading cryptocurrency, it won't be like necessarily people really not knowing how to acquire Bitcoin. It'll be like people who still want to house fiat. The bank will take that money and still use it for digital assets and things of that nature, of other interests.
And then I'm just going to share this one. And I've been hearing this for a while, so it's kind of cool seeing it in an article. The battle for control of the metaverse. Can open innovation outrun corporate domination? Talks of the metaverse, what is and what it means, was everywhere at SXSW last week, but dig deeper into where the Web3 crowd gathered and discussed centered on a more existential question. Who could control the metaverse and how it operates? Crypto natives, including the Sandbox, Fluff World, and a growing force of passionate communities, work to bring attention and urgency to the belief that the moment defines control of our digital future. Will it be owned by corporations, or will the metaverse be a space in which people hold the key to their own identity, followings, data, and digital assets with full agency to leverage them across applications and platforms? Behind the debate is this core question. Can a metaverse operate by its citizens, become richer and more equitable and more valuable to its users than one that is corporate designed and operated? Mark Zuckerberg, the de facto leader of the corporate metaverse tribe, since renaming his company, took the stage virtually to assure the crowd that Meta would be behind the fundamental tech to bring the metaverse to life. He emphasized their work on the entire tech stack, from the hardware to access it and the applications that use it to the digital identity system that define the people in it. This is something a lot of people at Meta have wanted to build for a long time, said Zuckerberg. Now, and that's where it's dangerous, right? Like allowing Facebook, who's known as being one of the worst ones for capturing people's data, to build the back end for the Meta. I guess it's his metaverse, but in the same sense, they really do need to look at this. The idea behind Web3 was to not be kind of corporate dominated, but it feels as we go longer and longer into this, it's definitely becoming a thing where corporations are trying to take over the metaverse. So it will be interesting, I guess, to see what happens.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me, Scott, when we were talking about metaverse before, and we were talking about, I remember you saying at one time, like, you wanted to see all one metaverse, and like, why did it have to be so many different metaverses? And this is the reason why that it has to be so many metaverses, because we don't want the corporate giants to get in here and lay down the foundation for what really happens with our data online, especially our metaverse data. They already house a lot of our data now. So I think that this is it's one of those things that you look at and say, hey, look, this is the metaverse they're building, and it will be users that go to that, and there will be other metaverses that's built, and people will go to that as well. I think, people will just decide which way they want to go at the end of the day. But I'm gonna jump into my third article here, Scott. It's also going to be coming from Cointelegraph, and this is a subject that kind of, I guess it hits home for me in a little bit, just because of, I don't want to say hit home for me. I think hits home for all the cryptocurrency, because we always talk about hearing people talk about banking the unbanked, or trying to reach people in other countries who don't have banks. And we see the adoption in some of these countries growing a lot faster than they are in our own countries. So this one's coming from me. Coming from Cointelegraph. The headline reads: Crypto users in Africa grew by 2,500% in 2021. So a recent report by KuCoin reveals that the number of crypto transactions has increased by 2,670% in South African countries. So cryptocurrency adoption in Africa is on a march. Despite socioeconomic factors and headwinds, a positive report of cryptocurrency exchange, KuCoin, shows that crypto transactions increased by nearly 3,000% in 2022. An astonishing growth trend. The steep influx relates to the low values that have been observed during previous periods. The number of crypto transactions in Africa constitutes roughly 2.8 of global volume. Johnny Liu, CEO of KuCoin, told Cointelegraph that the adoption of digital assets in Africa will continue to grow exponentially, adding that African countries have the highest crypto adoption rate in the world, outperforming even the biggest regions such as the US, Europe, and Asia. So the founder of Bitcoin Senegal is convinced that the 1,000% growth rates of Bitcoin will continue coming in years. So take a look at the way in which cars, mobile phones, consumer electronics took off of the continent. Africa is a continent where lightning fast progression and adoption is coming. In particular, the report cites that more than 88.5 of cryptocurrency transactions have made by Africans are cross-border transfers. Low fees mean that users pay less than 0.01 for overall amount of the transaction transferred in cryptocurrencies. That rate of growth can depend on both local policymaker and separate official stances on cryptocurrency. Still, I believe that a promising future for digital money in Africa is inevitable. So this is pretty cool, man. I think this is one of those things, like I was just talking about, Scott, that, when you think about it, from the outside, me being here in America, I would have think, like, hey, I know when people are talking about, building in Africa and taking coin or taking crypto to Africa, I thought that, that people out there really did need our help in learning about cryptocurrencies. And here we are thinking that, and they're the majority of people that's using cryptocurrency, and they're actually using it the right way. They're using it for peer-to-peer transactions, which is literally what's in the white paper. And that's what Bitcoin was created for. And that's what a lot of this digital currency was created for. It was for peer-to-peer transactions. They're getting rid of the Western Union or the MoneyGram or so on. When they go to send money from here to Africa, they're probably paying 50% fees on the money that they're sending. So look how much they're taking from their own people. So to see that they're taking this approach and actually using cryptocurrency, and to have their rate of growth be up 2,500% in a year, Scott, that's remarkable to me. I wish nothing but the best for the people there, and I hope that they continue pushing technologies forward and using digital assets.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And I'm so glad to hear that, like, adoption. That's one of the biggest countries that definitely needs something like cryptocurrency, as well as like the Philippines and India. Like, you're starting to see it more there too as well. So I'm just very happy to see these countries start to use what it was meant for. Like you were saying, it's hugely important. So, and then here's another country, actually. I will just pop it up. Give me 1 second. I was reading something else before that, but 1 second. I'll just share the screen in half a second. Share. Honduras reports reportedly to officially recognize Bitcoin as legal tender in the coming days. Honduras might be the next nation to formally recognize Bitcoin as a legal tender, following El Salvador, if various internet sources are to believed. The country's president, Xiomara Castro, has reportedly said that El Salvador shouldn't be the only country escaping dollar hegemony. Castro also emphasized that it was the right of Honduras to move towards a first world. The source said, although the information was still unconfirmed at the time of publication, the president of Honduras announcement is reportedly to take place on Monday morning, March 21st. The Central American country is following a pattern of strong interest in cryptocurrency. Finbol reported in August 2021 that Honduras has earlier introduced its first Bitcoin and Ethereum ATMs in the capital city, allowing users to buy the digital asset using the local currency Lempira. Notably, the renowned crypto advocate Matt Kaiser, who's been spending time in and around the region, tweeted the flag of Honduras on March 18th, hitting that something might indeed be happening there soon. And we did hear that recently too as well, that it was going to be happening. So I haven't checked today being the day that they were going to announce it. I haven't looked too closely to see if it was officially announced, but I'm excited for them if it does. And it will take time to announce too if it does.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it'll be one of those things that we see like right
away.
Right away. It'd probably be something. We'll hear a little bit about it. You know how the media likes to string things out. So we'll probably hear a little bit about it and a little bit of spurts over the next week or so. But definitely looking forward to it as well. All right, guys, we're going to jump over to the last part, the trading view, and see what's going on with the total market cap and some of the things that we also like to take some of the dominance factors that we like to take a look at. So without further ado, we'll go right over. So if we look here, we see the total market cap is at $1.83 trillion market cap. So this is, we starting to see the market cap push up. This is a 1-day chart. So yeah, you see yesterday we had a fall down and then we're starting to get a little push back up, but it's still getting a lot of rejection in here. The Bitcoin dominance has been the thing that's was one of the things that was like I wanted to show you guys today, because when we look at Bitcoin dominance, we just see Bitcoin dominance as we talked about on Friday before we got out of here. You know, it had formed this top over here, but didn't really break through. So this is called a double top. You also almost have a double bottom here, but the trend started reversing, and look how fast this is starting to reverse. We went from almost 44% to coming back down to the 42.5% on Bitcoin dominance. I like it to see it at the low dominance for me personally for altcoins, but you know, some people have different readings on that. And I have it because I like to see, I'm one of those people that speculate when Bitcoin dominance is going down, Ethereum dominance pushes up. Scott, we watched that happen over the last few days as well. We started to watch the Ethereum dominance tear up. And we talked about last week wanting to see it tear past this side over here and get back into the 20% range. We'll keep watching it. I think everything's still stable in my opinion. I think it's still too early to make any decisions about anything as far as anything related to the market. Never make it on the weekend and definitely don't make it on Monday. So I think that, you know, if we really go back and we look at what's happening with the total crypto market cap, is that, you know, it's starting to make a double bottom, and it could potentially be making a higher low or a lower high. And that's what we want to see. And until any of that changes, for me personally, Scott, I'm just going to remain neutral. I do know that some news I wanted to tell you guys today, that BigONE did release Terra USD today for trading. So if you guys are interested in that, come over to BigONE and take a look at that. And we also have some other news. It's always news on there from day to day that you could check out as well. You got anything for the people before we get out here today, Scott?
Not too much. Just watch. We're going to have big announcements, I think, here in the near future about new partners for BigONE. And he's been working really hard in Dubai. There's lots of videos that we've been posting lately. Definitely check those out of Andy speaking. He's been holding a couple more Twitter spaces as well, which are amazing to follow. So definitely something to keep your eyes open for.
Yeah, guys. So that's all the time we got for the day. It's going to end up our first day of the week. So we'll be back again tomorrow, and then you're stuck with us all week. So as always, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. And until tomorrow.
Peace. See you guys later.